G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the east side of the map, in the colour blue, playing as the Malians, representing Team 3D, we've got Cat. Very nice Cat. A little bit different from the normal B that we're used to. Of course, for anybody who's unfamiliar, 3D B, 3D Cat, these guys are friends. In fact, not just friends, but teammates. On the other side of the map, I guess we could probably introduce this player as someone you'll be familiar with, maybe even somebody you call yourself, playing as the Chinese in the colour teal. We've got Twitch Chat Expert. Now, Twitch Chat Expert, for anybody who, you guys are YouTube watchers, so that's a little bit different from Twitch Chat, but Twitch Chat are known for their absolute giga brains. These guys, like, imagine a Redditor, but then imagine it like 10 times smarter than a Redditor. Orders of magnitude more intelligent. That's what we're talking about with Twitch Chat. But no, it is not actually a Twitch Chat expert. This is a Twitch streaming expert. This is going to be Beastie Cutie, who's playing on over on the west corner. So I'm excited to see this game. Currently, Cat sits at about 1900 rating, which is pretty damn good, sitting inside that top 20. And of course, Beastie on the other side of the map, just about 2300, 2400 at the moment. So he's well and truly up there. And I'm looking forward to this matchup because, excuse me, I just did a little bit of a burp. I've been drinking my Red Bull. We don't have English today. We've got Chinese. And I like to keep it close to home. You know, any civilization that I'm a fan of, I like to cast it because there's things that you can learn. Even though I'm not really actively playing at the moment, I'm still watching and I'm still enjoying these games that are coming out. So I'm curious to see what kind of strategy Beastie looks to go for here. How early we're going to see that second TC. Because I would suspect we're probably going to see a really quick second TC coming out from Beastie. He's a bit of a greedy player. But I'm curious how he's going to be dealing with Cat and Javelins. Because one of the issues I had in this matchup previously was that Javelins do very well against a feudal age Chinese player. So if you're not castle age, you're going to have a bit of a tough time. On top of that, they've got a couple of different units that can work magic against you. Of course, I'm talking about the Musofadi warrior, a really strong unit that just works out wonderfully against palace guards. It can chase down the palace guard. It can beat the palace guard one-on-one. It's just a perfect unit to deal with that. So I suspect there's going to have to be some big outplays coming in today if Cat wants to try and pull his way out of this one. Obviously up against Beastie, but on top of that, I guess the civilization matchup here, though, I'd say it's probably slightly in favor of the Malians. We'll say that much, but take a look at this. On the east side of the map, we've got ourselves a Saharan trade network. A little bit... it's been a while since I've seen this Saharan trade network coming down. I thought you were dead, my friend, but it looks like he's up. He is alive, and take a look at Beastie with the Barbican. Not too far away from base, I say, but I tell you what, actually, that's pretty damn far. Normally when we see a Barbican, we're used to it being very close, you know? A naturally close gold mine, something like this, the natural gold mine, Barbican just thrown down here. Perfect spot for it. Out towards the front, you know, on top of the stone. Perfect spot. But Beastie says, actually, we're going to play it a bit more greedy. We're going to put the Barbican on top of the deer. Look at this corner, though. Double gold, berries, and it's the big berry patch, the 8 bad boys. Deer out here as well, and the triple gold. This is an amazing corner. Remember that the Barbican is, for all intents and purposes, a keep. This is, you are not removing this bad boy. It is painful to get rid of. So, for realistically, this is a solid decision to be throwing this Barbican out here. Let's ride on board with Cat, though. See how he's doing. I'm curious what direction he looks to go into, because one of the interesting things that we've seen coming out from a lot of the Malian players is they will go into their non-trade landmark, but they will trade. And they will go into their trade landmark, but not trade. In fact, Salami, aka Corvinus, was one of the first players to go for the Saharan trade network like this, but then just go for a fast castle and go straight into the Faroumba garrison. We could see something similar today coming out from Cat, but I would suspect, judging by the amount of villagers that we've got on wood, it's not going to be the case. This villager may look to be moving out, dropping down a market potentially, but instead we see a pit mine coming down. Beastie gets the age up. Barbican is spotted out here. Keep in mind that that Barbican also provides plenty of line of sight out here as well. Out in that stealth forest, it is definitely going to help out plenty. Imperial Academy coming down at home behind this, and it looks like Beastie not going to be moving into that second TC just yet. So looking for a little bit of a delay there, but 4 vills on this Imperial Academy going to be coming up for a very nice timing on this Song Dynasty. We'll be looking for about a 5-minute, maybe a little bit after the 5-minute mark, but it is definitely quite early. So now moving over to the straggler trees. I'll be expecting that he gets out just a couple of Imperial officials here just to help out with everything. And I'm curious to see exactly how greedy we get back here for Cat. Meanwhile, we do actually have the mill coming down, and he's going to be looking for an early horticulture. So could potentially be going into cows. He's also looked to pick up the double broadaxe as well. So a lot of upgrades coming in and throwing down this pit mine. So I guess judging by the fact that Beastie's gone for a Barbican where he did, perhaps Cat's thinking a little bit more along the lines of an eco-focused game. And we see now that that scout's going to be coming out towards the middle. I suspect he's going to be looking to try and hit this stone mine because Beastie is on top of it right now. We'll be heading into that second TC as we expected. So I'm curious what kind of timing he's going to look to hit here, but Beastie playing a different style, obviously going for a little bit safer play style, going for the Barbican first, moving it out quite far away. So I'm expecting somewhere around the 6-minute 20, 6-minute 30 mark. We could be seeing that second TC thrown down. Actually, also going for a wheelbarrow as well. So really not, or being quite focused on a number of different avenues here. Meanwhile, back towards the base of Cat. I was about to call him B right there. He's going to be moving into scouts, which is definitely the right idea. I like this a lot. We also see markets coming down. Trade post not the best, but I think this is about as good as it gets on a map like this. Unfortunate position here with the forest behind it. To be honest, it's actually not that bad, right? Like, you look at the two, I mean, it seems there's a pretty big distance between the edge of the map here. This is just unfortunate, right? Like, you just prefer it to be, like, right there, but at the end of the day, you get what you're given, and you got to play with it. You could look to try and come up to this corner as well, but obviously, you want to try and avoid going too close to the base of Beastie. But we'll check in with him, see how he's doing. 6 minutes, 45 seconds. TC going to be coming down any second here. Where is he looking to put it down? Is that an outpost potentially coming up here? Oh, he's beginning to move Vils down. Oh my god, he's walling it off. He's already scouted out what his opponent's up to. We can see right now that the Beastie's running the scout back towards his base. So immediately, look at the response. And this is just this is the difference between a top 1 player and a top 10 player. This is just an immediate response comes out right now. Beastie just walks these Vils down, says, we're just going to wall this bad boy in, just so it creates a little bit of havoc for our opponent. And it's such a smart move. Such a smart move. All he needs is that one wall across. I mean, realistically, you probably want to wall all the way over to here just so that your enemy can't chop through, because they will look to do that. But this is going to cause huge amount of havoc for him. As soon as it gets spotted, I'm hoping that Cat just... Oh my god, it's a big boy trade boom as well. I hope that he just immediately trades it or changes his trade up towards his position. Outposts are coming down as well. Beastie's going to have to be quick if he wants to stop this from coming up. Scouts back home. And now we've got our own palisades coming up here. But there's the wall. Beastie not even going to go against the edge of... Oh, look at this. Oh, Beastie. Oh, you absolute genius. I love it. This is such a smart playstyle. This says you're not going to be able to kill my villagers. If you try to, you're going to struggle. He's going to look to put outposts up. He's going to throw down so many outposts in here. Oh, this is so cheeky. Oh, I absolutely love it. Meanwhile, towards the north, he's just walling everything in. And this is exactly the play, right? Your second TC's down. Your eco is going crazy. And yeah, your enemy might be making traders. They might be trickling across the map right now. And I'm sure they'll be collecting some decent gold. But it's only a matter of time until this outpost comes up. You can see the second one coming in as well. The only thing that Cat can do right now is move into battering rams. That's the only way I think that you can deal with this. But Beastie's going to draw quite a lot of pressure down towards that side. Warrior Scout now. Trying to cause some harassment. Spots the villagers on stone and may know something is up. Simply because you're gathering more than that 850 remaining. Whenever you're dropping a TC, you go from 1200 on the stone outcropping down to 850. Anything less than that, and you're working for a second TC, or you're doing something else. And that does now get scouted out by Cat. He spots out the second outpost as well. He will suspect there is going to be some trouble in Paradise. So I would be looking to consider trading towards this top side, but he hasn't actually spotted out the trading post yet. So perhaps a little bit of an error there on his part. Interestingly, not a lot of scouts out for him either. And now we see those Donzos moving down towards his south side. But as I mentioned before, Donzos are not going to be enough here to cut the mustard. At least I think that's what you do with the mustard. I'm not 100% sure what that term is, but I would suspect that it's probably something along those lines. And it looks like this trader may go down. Gets the final shot off. Indeed, he does. So now, Cat's in trouble. This is not a good spot for Cat. This is the ultimate cheeky play coming out from Beastie. Just look at this. This is goodbye to your trade. You know, and I love this because we talked about the fact that Beastie could just come in here and wall this off. But you do that. Your enemy makes a couple of Donzos. They get through the wall, and that's it. But look what Beastie does. Beastie doesn't just say, oh my god, look at what he's doing. He's just going to come in on the back line to throw down more outposts. He doesn't say, I'm going to just let you come in and do that. Instead, he makes himself such a pesky, annoying player to play against. This is so frustrating to deal with. And I think that's really the difference between the top level players is the creativity is just such on another level here. And I don't even think Beastie's memeing in this game. I genuinely think, you know, if he was playing a tournament game and he was up in this exact same position, he would be doing the exact same thing as this right now. Because it is a thing of beauty. How do you stop this? How do you deal with this? The battering ram's coming out. Yeah, sure, but he's got villagers in there, so he's going to need ranged units. How's he going to be able to take out the ranged units? On top of that, Beastie can bring units down here as well now. It's going to take so long for the reaction to come in. Meanwhile, keep in mind behind this, the traders haven't been trading. They've been chilling out right now. They're with John Cena. They're in the back of the limo. They're sipping the ice cream. Actually, does he eat the ice cream in the limo? He does, right? Being chilling. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Anyway, Beastie now under pressure. You should be able to yeah, you can see him immediately targeting down those traders. Looks like he might get it. Oh, one of them escapes. Second one also going to be escaping. More of them coming through. He's got to be careful, but now Spear's being called to the front here. Keep in mind, BC's got these sneaky little villagers down here. Whether they get spotted out, it's going to be a different factor. But able to take out those traders. Let's check in with him and see how many is on. 11 traders, so pretty decent number, honestly, for the moment. I like this play coming out from Cat. I would have loved from Beastie just a few more, like even just bringing a couple more villagers down here. The problem is you're up against the Donzos, and to be honest, Donzos are really good at sniping out these vills. So that's always going to be something that you can look out for, but take a look at this. Beastie behind this. Wait, Donzos are in too close range here. And I don't think 5 vills could probably kill this. So you know what? It's probably a decent decision not to do that. He's caused enough damage here already. Like, I'm not going to say that this is an overreaction, but I will definitely say this is a big reaction that has delayed Cat. And it's bought Beastie time because he's now gone into the second tier. Oh my god, look at the size of that thing. Astronomical clock tower, 6 barracks with the blacksmith coming down. This is a man who means business. He's got plenty of food income as well, which means that he is just going to be pumping out units non-stop here. Take a look at the resources in the bank as well. I'll tell you what, this guy's been listening to Twitch chat because he's an absolute expert when it comes to this stuff right here. And have a look at this. Palace guards in the queue. I love it. I love it. I love it to pieces right now. Okay, so at this point, Cat's managed to shut down the attack down here on the south. He's had to invest quite a bit of resources to do it. By BC going into the stone outposts, it basically says, hey, Cats, you need to make a battering ram, otherwise you're not going to kill me. So he does that, but Cats doesn't overreact, right? He's made Donzos, and he probably was going to make Donzos anyway. The issue that he's got is that his enemy's in Castle Age, and he hasn't been able to trade this entire time. Yeah, he's had economic units, but have they been functional? And the answer is no, they haven't. At the same time, Beastie looking to now take the boar in the north of the map, utilizing those walls that he's got, that he's built up already, to take advantage of that boar. But Palace Guard's now going to be coming out swinging hard. They've got their +1 ranged armor in already. Will help them out against the javelin throw of the Donzos. But obviously, once they get into that melee combat, it's going to be a little bit different behind this. Beastie looking to pick up +2 ranged armor as well. So now those units really going to be quite tanky, and we can see it's going to be Musafadi warriors coming out. And this is part of the reason why I really despise playing against the Malians as the Chinese here, because one of the troubles that Beastie's going to have, there are Donzos mixed in with those Musafadi warriors, and it means that if you want to try and take out the Musafadi warriors, you need to snipe them out with ranged units. So now it becomes quite there's quite an emphasis placed on micro in this matchup. You know, consider this, okay? Basically, you've got Cat, who's playing the Protoss. He just won A's. And then you've got Beastie, who is not playing the Protoss. He's got to actually micro this. He's a Zerg Giga Chat player, but take a look at this. Whether he's going to be able to catch this or not is a different question. Let's check in and make sure Musafadi are running out there. We can see the base movement speed, 1.38 movement speed against the Chinese Palace Guards, also 1.38 movement speed. Keep in mind there is the Yuan dynasty that can always help out our Twitch chat expert as well. And that will push that speed even faster. And you can see those Musafadis looking to try and chase these units down. Remember, Palace Guards do not want to fight against the Musafadi. Musafadi, a much more cost-effective unit when fighting up against the Palace Guards. So ideally, they just want to run through the base and go and kill all the enemy traders. And you can see now Beastie going to be running for dear life here. There are plenty of Musafadi chasing him down at the same time towards the south side. Palace Guards do get through. Only handful of traders here, though. But it looks like they will get cleaned up behind this. I'm curious to see what Beastie's doing as he begins moving into veteran Zhuge-Nu, looking to shut down the enemy Musofati with those. Also, at the same time, picking up relics. He's up to 3 so far. 2 in the bank, or rather 1 in the bank, 2 on hold. And it looks like he's managed to clean this up. Now, one of the things I will say to Cats, and he should have begun doing this as soon as Beastie aged up, walls. Walls, walls. We've seen it once before. Beastie's been very happy. She should get it. He'll be fine. There we go. So Beastie's been very happy, very trigger happy, putting the palace guards on the enemy trade line. So what do we need to do? We need to wall. We need to stop the enemy from coming in behind our lines. We need to control the story. The story shouldn't be written by the victor about how the traders were undefended. It should just be about how we couldn't get past their walls. That's what the story should be about. So, you know, right now, Cat really needs to emphasize, or I want to emphasize just how important it is for Cat to be putting down walls. And we can see Beastie looking to take the initiative and do that same thing. Of course, we're playing on Highview, which is a map that notoriously gets walled up. And part of the reason why is because you can't see what's going on. You're so damn blind on a map like this. You know, you throw down an outpost, and that's a mandatory thing here. Musofati, though, gonna get spotted out, though. Zhuge-Nu numbers starting to build here. Beastie down quite a bit when it comes to the military numbers. 37 Musofati out for Cat. Now remember, Musofati are light infantry, or light melee infantry in the same way that spearmen are. But they don't get counted by Zhuge-Nu, at least hard counted. Obviously, the Zhuge-Nu do quite a bit of damage to them. So as long as he's got his ranged armor, he'll be fine. But unfortunately, he doesn't. The Zhuge-Nu on the backline are just going to be melting through these Musofati. And indeed, they do go down very, very quickly. So that ranged armor really costing out Cat quite a bit there. We still don't see that he's picked it up. Instead, going to be going into +1 melee attack. A little bit of a mistake, I would say, from Cats. You see that many Zhuge-Nu out, my friend? You want to be thinking about +1, +2 ASAP. All right, well, behind this, we'll check in with Beastie as he says, oh, my macro is perfectly fine. I don't know what you're talking about. So what if there's 1,800 resources worth of nest of bees in the queue? I don't know what you're talking about, Drongo. Look, that's a good amount of nest of bees. I support that 100%, and I like the way that you front-loaded it. Let's check in with the ecos, though. We just switched it over now to the trickling economy tab. I think that's what's it called? Does it even tell you? It doesn't tell you, but you can see the incomes. So for Beastie at the moment, we're looking at somewhere close to about 4,000 compared to his opponent, who's sitting at about 3.6k, so not too far behind, honestly, for Cat. Obviously, decent trade coming through at the moment. Trade probably... I'm curious exactly how long it takes for these traders to make their trip, but I would be suspecting a little bit over 60 seconds is what he'd be looking at. All right, so where does Beastie go from here? Well, I think you can see where it comes. And I love the way that Beastie's doing it. You can see the way that he attacks in waves. First wave comes out, down here, beautiful, gets cleaned up. Second wave, well, it's now on the way. It's going to be a whole bunch of villagers looking to throw down a keep, and not just one keep, but I suspect there may even be a second one. Keep in mind towards the north side, he's managed to wall off this area. It looks like a little bit of a raid coming through. Musofati do have access to that stealth, and I think they may have gotten past the enemy front line to come through here. Beastie losing quite a bit of villagers here. At the same time, the keep going to get thrown down on top of that outpost. The tower outpost, or toll outpost rather, going to be spotting it out. Also spots out the trade post and says, well, this is mine now. I'm going to make this mine. This is no longer yours. And if we take a look at these markets, you can see that there are 39 traders right now. And those traders are going to become useless at this point in the game until this keep goes down. Nesta B's managing to fire off a second one, going to get picked off. Uncharacteristic mistake there from Beastie. Zhuge-Nu teeing off towards his second keep, looking to trickle them across the map, it seems, as this keep should be able to machine gun down all of the traders. Good night, sweet princes. Excuse me? Did you see that? I think he managed to take it out. Never mind, let's focus on the battle, Drongo. Keep gonna go up. Wololo. Back towards the base. He's just looking to distract, looking to attract attention anywhere but this fight right now. Nesta B's under pressure from the Sofa Warriors. Behind this, it looks like the keep will get up. Keep in mind, he's got the secondary keep here as well, just to solidify this position. It looks like Cat will be able to clean it up until that keep arrives on the scene. And unfortunately, he's going to have to fall back. There's no way he stays under this and fights right now. This is absolute suicide. It's just throwing away all of these units. But I guess realistically, he just wants to get rid of the army that his opponent's got. Is that it? But you can just... Oh my god, this is a massacre. Absolute massacre. And finally, he does it. A single unit left standing for Beastie, but I tell you what, that was an absolute great trade for Beastie. Getting that keep up like that, so much damage is done by those keeps. So they nerfed the keep, but I just got to ask the question. I feel like the Chinese keep is just... It just got buffed, man. Wow, have a look at the minimap. Look at where the big golds are. I mean, we talked about Beastie and the 1, 2, 3 golds that he had up here that were protected by the Barbican. Double gold on the enemy side of the map. Really close to that. I mean, it's not really on the enemy side of the map. It's kind of on the enemy side of the map, but they're right next to each other. This is not good. Normally, we should have these split up, because if you put one keep down and you secure both the golds, your enemy is just going to say checkmate to you. At least if you split them up, then it means that there's more than one keep required to attract or to defend them. But... Speaking of additional keeps, Beastie now looking to keep up with the Kardashians with all of these villagers here on the front line, gathering it up. And now you've got a man who's left with nothing but a few shekels to his name. Unfortunately, Cat is in a bit of a difficult spot. 21 minutes into the game and his economy has ground to a halt. The primary reason why trade is so dangerous is because if your enemy is competent, and if there's a will, there's a way, my friends. Beastie looks to shut it down. Ville's now going to be pulled, looking to try and siege down the battering rams. Doing a pretty decent job here. Don't know whether he's got his textiles just yet, but manages to do a fair bit of damage. Boiling oil is through, so he's going to be dealing out a whole bunch of AoE damage here. Now, they did change the way that boiling oil works as well. I don't actually see any boiling oil coming out on these keeps. Actually, is boiling oil in? Oh, it's not in yet. He's researching it down at this keep. That's where it is. I'm sitting here wondering, where's that damn boiling oil? But it's not yet out. Ville's now going to look for a run down here towards the south. He's going to try and pick off one of those battering rams. Should be able to find it here. Donates a couple of Villes to the cause as well. And says, good night, little guys. Meanwhile, back towards the base. A beautiful, a picture-perfect Chinese base. Back here for Beastie. And I love it. I absolutely... Oh, the traders are back. He's gone for a huge trade run. Trade is online. Oh, no. I hear it. I see it. I smell it. Where is it? Where is he putting it? Where is it? I can see it. There's 15 Villes on it somewhere. Oh, it's back here. He's putting it to defend the farms. Loving it. Loving it. Very, very nice move there from Beastie. So a lot of people would look at that and say, that's such a waste. Yeah, it's such a waste until there's 15 Sofa Warriors that show up on your traders. Or rather on your, I mean, probably on your traders as well. But on your farmers back here. And then all of a sudden, it's actually a really good investment, isn't it? On top of that, you can walk up here and keep your Villes safe from the enemy raids. So it looks like everything has been shut down on this south side once again. But the part I want to iterate is just how far Beastie's ahead now. He's gone to Imperial. Look at the military count. He doesn't have a huge military. He's been able to do all of this behind his main attack, just simply because he's bought himself so much space with these attacks. The constant raids on the trades have absolutely ruined the day of Cat. It is not a good position for him to be in right now. Whole bunch of gold comes through. Let's do a little bit of a comparison between these two. 1,700 gold a minute, 1,000 food, 650 wood. So you're looking at close to about... Oh gosh, look at all the gold that's just come in. Okay, never mind me. Whole bunch of gold just arrives into the coffers. So you're talking about 4.5k, about 4,500 resources coming through for Cat. Meanwhile, for Beastie, on the other side of the map, 3,000, 4,500, about 5,000 resources, so a little bit over it. So pretty even Stevens on the economies at the moment, as you would expect to be when there is less than 15 the difference at this point in the game. Where's my music? Where's my music? I noticed all of a sudden that the music's not there. Give me the music. Oh, there it is. There it comes. It's a little bit soft. Maybe I'm a bit too loud. Is that what it is? Looks like the keeps have been re-established. I do like this now from Cat. There is a way to win this game. And for Cat to win this game, he needs to make the game last longer. The other thing to note is Beastie's kind of set up for trade already. He can just put a market in the corner and trade to the trade post. Even if he loses out on gold, like he has got gold veins that he can play with. So I don't think that's a huge issue. And Beastie now going to be rushing a keep down on this large gold vein. He says, I'm going to contest that gold as best as I can. The keep comes up. He says, good night, mate. Boiling oil comes down, but look at this. The boiling oil just hits the one spot of the army of Cat. It doesn't hit everything anymore. Boiling oil has been nerfed pretty badly. at least not as bad, or it's definitely not as good. And you can see that he's spreading out the troops now. So the boiling oil will hit these troops, but look, I don't even see the damage. Back in the good old days, the boiling oil would just kill everything under this keep. You can actually contest keeps now. Nice little boiling oil shot there. Manages to hit the missile fighter. You definitely have to control the boiling oil. That is for sure. Oh, Lord, the nest of bees. Beastie. Don't do it. Don't do it, Beastie. Don't hit him with it. So many nest of bees here. Has he picked up the upgrade? I think he has. I think he's picked it up. He's got the extra projectile coming in. Yeah, 9 burst attacks. Slightly more damage. 12.5% more damage. Population cap reached here for Beastie. Sitting at 197. And Good Game gets called. He just says, I can't do it. I can't do it. There's way too much siege there. And Good Game gets called. Fellas, make sure you go and check out Beastie. I mean, I'm sure you've already done it, but check him out again. If you've enjoyed this video, leave a link. Leave a like on the video. And I'll leave a link. I'll leave a link to Beastie. There we go. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.